Hello, and welcome to Your Vote Counts, a nonpartisan public candidate interview service program designed to help voters get acquainted with the candidates vying for the 2025 special district election races of Ward 6 on the Salem City Council and the Salem-Keizer School Board positions of 1, 3, 5, and 7. These interviews come to you through the producers at Capital Community Media, with collaboration on questions from the American Association of University Women and the League of Women Voters of Marion and Polk counties. Interviewers are from the League of Women Voters. All candidates for these races were invited, and all but one chose to participate. Candidates did not receive the prepared questions ahead of time. Candidates were invited to prepare a 2-minute opening statement addressing their background and qualifications for the office, as well as a 2-minute closing statement. I'm Toma Cadu, your moderator from the League of Women Voters, and I'd like to introduce Lisa Harnisch, who's running for Salem-Keizer School Board Zone 1. Welcome.
Thank you.
And we look forward to your opening statement.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. First and foremost, my name is Lisa Harnisch, and I am running for Zone 1. I am first and foremost a mother of 2 graduates of the Salem-Keizer schools. My husband and I have lived here in the Salem area. We actually live in West Salem and have for the last 30-ish years. And we chose Salem as a place where we really wanted to raise our family. I have been involved in our community in a variety of different ways. I believe passionately about education as a real cornerstone for our community. I'm also involved in some of the arts through Salem Art Association, and it's just been a real honor and pleasure to bring those parts of my outside of work time together. And I am also, I run a local nonprofit, and we work to help ensure that kids are more ready for kindergarten. I am, like I said, passionate about ensuring that our schools are a place of welcoming, that kids feel safe and supported, and also a place where we thrive on academic excellence. Some of the issues that I'm really focused in on are around literacy, helping to ensure that kids are reading by grade level by 3rd grade. Third grade is sort of that magical milestone that we have, and it's a great predictor of high school graduation. Also helping to ensure that we've got academic excellence in providing a wide variety of opportunities such as career technical education, also focusing in on the music and the arts and science programs, and also that we've got safe and welcoming schools, and that's physical safety as well as social emotional safety. I have had a unique opportunity.
I think we're going to move on to the questions.
Great.
And I bet you have an opportunity to address those other issues you want to as well. Let's begin with, what do you think are the biggest challenges faced by teachers and staff of the Salem-Keizer School District?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have some challenges in our district. We also have some amazing things that are happening here in our district. We are, part of the challenges really are around our kids and their some of the issues or challenges that they might be showing up with when we think about the socioeconomic diversity in our community, when we think about some of the educational inequities that might happen in our district. And it's a time for us to really focus in on how do we help to support our children through those programs that provide some of the academic excellence. I think we also are facing, There is a lot of challenges around the budget. Last year we endured a very painful year from a budgetary perspective, and had to make some reductions, which are very painful. And so for us, I think it's a time for us as a community to really wrap around to help ensure that our schools have the support that they need, that our teachers have the support that they need, the curriculum that they need to be able to teach at their highest level, and also that there is that accountability in our schools as well.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
What is your understanding of the role and duties of a school board member?
Yeah. So a school board member actually has essentially three roles. One is to oversee the superintendent, and that includes the hiring and the firing of the superintendent, and helping to set those goals for the district that the superintendent is in charge of carrying out. The second bucket of work, if you will, is focusing in on adopting a budget that allows the school district to be able to function, and being able to provide what our children and our teachers need for their educational purposes. The third area is around setting those policy directions for our school district. What I didn't mention before is I'm actually on the school board now. I was appointed to the role in March of 2024 when that seat became open. And I'm very proud of the work that the board has done to establish goals. There's 5 overarching goals, including 9th grade on track, high school graduation, a sense of well-being and belonging, also literacy, and then attendance. So those together become how we then measure the superintendent and how the district overall is doing.
For our next question, I'd like to ask, what are your suggestions for involving the community in curriculum development? If you could describe the roles, levels of influence for parents, teachers, and the district in the development process.
Yeah, absolutely. So curriculum is something that is so vastly important. And it's also really important that we have curriculum that keeps up with ensuring that we've got the right practices that are not only evidence and research-based, but are really timely and will help to meet the needs of our children so that they can go on and be productive members of society wherever they may end up. And it is, I think, incredibly important for us to really start with looking at what is available, and we use the Department of Education as a support for that, and looking at the evidence-based and research-based curriculum. And then there's also just, it's critical that our teachers be involved in identifying what curriculum is going to best meet the needs, because they understand what it's like in the classroom. They understand what their children are coming in with, where we need to bolster that up. And so they have got to be a part of that curriculum selection process. It's also very important, too, that our families really know and understand what is not only involved in the curriculum selection, but then are a part of that. And to me, that looks like creating opportunities for parents to be a part of selection committees. I think it is also about us going out into community and listening on and, demonstrating what is sort of on the table for us to look at, but then also getting their input on how they want to be able to, what their thoughts are on that curriculum as well.
Turning to the topic of transparency, how will you build community trust, or I should say, how are you building community trust, facilitating communication, and managing conflict between parents, teachers, and the school board, especially during sensitive discussions on school board issues?
That is such a great question, and one that I think is very timely in our community and in our society as a whole. And so I welcome those conversations. I believe wholeheartedly in getting to know people and kind of understanding where they're coming from and what is really sort of at the root of some of what is being discussed. I think there's a place for us to really figure out where that synergy point is. May not always agree, and sometimes it's really may not agree on some of the how, but I think at the bottom of this is that we all are here for our kids. We want our kids to have the absolute best, and I think we'll all go as community members and as parents. We want to make sure that the environments are supportive of our kids, and there may just be some different ways to do that. So I think part of what I'm doing right now is having conversations like this. Of course, also getting out into community and listening. Had the opportunity last night to go and talk with a group of teachers to really understand what's happening in their classrooms and where some of their challenges and struggles are. I think as a board, it's doing more of the listening sessions on a variety of different topics. We did some work last year with the budget, and we need to do that on a more regular basis to make sure that we're doing that. There's also opportunities for parents to come to the school board meetings and to share with us their thoughts, concerns, ideas, and that's an opportunity that I wish more people either knew about or were able to take the opportunity and be able to do. Because I will say, as a board member, even though it can be a little, because it's public meeting laws and there's all these different rules that we have to follow, which is really frustrating because you can't get into conversation. But it really has influenced my thinking in some of the issues and the topics that often maybe you're talking about as a school board, but often it's just a real peek into the school life and to family life as well. And so I really appreciate those times.
Now let's talk a little bit about budgeting. You mentioned it before. In thinking about the school district's decisions regarding funding and budget matters over the past year, what did you support? And on the other side of that coin, what did you not support?
Yeah, great question. I think, particularly with this last budget cycle was incredibly challenging because we saw a lot of funding go away out of the district through some of the COVID dollars. We also saw costs going up for retirement benefits and for the number of, the amazing teachers and staff and all that it takes to run a school. And so it was really, I think, a real opportunity for us as a board and as a budget member to be able to sort of look at all the different funding streams that are coming in and their intention. Many of the funding streams, in fact, all the funding streams have a specific role and a specific purpose. So I think it's really important to really understand what those purposes are. And then also looking at the data, looking at the demographics of our schools, understanding what it takes to actually to run a school, to run the classroom, to run the schools, to manage all of the transportation, the food service, all those pieces. Our schools, the focal point is on our classroom, but there are so many things going into making our schools really run and function efficiently. So looking at all of those with a vantage point of like, how are we ultimately serving children and families? And so that was something that I really was mindful of as we looked at each of the budget items and making some recommendations around, like, looking at, where different programs are, looking at different, classroom sizes. All of those pieces are definitely a big piece of a budget committee member role.
Thank you. A safe environment impacts learning and the ability to teach. How can you ensure students feel safe at school with issues of bullying, gangs, harassment?
Yeah, timely and very important question, and it is one thing that I'm incredibly passionate about as well. As I didn't mention this earlier, but part of my connection to the district over the years has been I was a part of the facilities task force about 10 years ago, brought the community together to really look at what is needed in each one of our buildings. And safety was a huge piece. It was one of the through lines along with science and career technical education that went through all of our planning for how we are looking at the buildings. And so that then resulted in the amazing bond that we had about 8 years ago, and then now have been finishing out all of the construction on all of our new, on all of our school buildings. But part of that was really, like I said, around safety, making sure that we had real focus on how people come into buildings, how they exit buildings, looking at building safe vestibules, helping to ensure that with the intercom system, like all of lighting, glazing on the windows, like all the various pieces that really help to ensure that our kids are safe in the building. So I think physical safety is definitely a piece of children and families feeling that their children are safe. The other piece of safety for me is around that social emotional perspective, helping to integrate and have initiatives and programs so that all children feel welcomed, they feel seen, and they feel heard as a part of their experience in the classroom and in the school overall. So we've done a lot of work to ensure that we have behavioral health on site, that we are helping to meet different social emotional needs and behavior needs, as well as helping to establish a safe environment overall.
Thank you for that. I'm now going to invite you to share your 2-minute closing comments.
Yeah. So I am passionate about our community. I'm passionate about our schools and the role that they play in building a vibrant community and helping to ensure that our children graduate from our schools successfully and are able to move on into the world, whether that be a stop at higher education or directly into the workforce. I will work tirelessly to ensure that our children have access to academic excellence through robust literacy, through opportunities, through career technical education, music, science, and technology. Those are pieces that are just incredible. Our kids can't leave without having a real rich opportunity within their schools. So I'm excited to continue the work as a board member. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve the community in this way. So thank you.
Thank you, Candidate Harnisch, for our interview today and for your sharing your thoughts.
You bet. Thank you.
And many thanks to Capital Community Media for their extensive technology and production skills in creating this program. Thank you also to the League of Women Voters of Marion and Polk Counties for design and preparation of the program, and to the American Association of University Women for help with question development. And thanks to you, the public, for watching in order to become a more informed voter. For more local, state, and national voter information on candidates and ballot issues, visit vote411.org. You have until April 29th to register to vote or to make changes in your registration. Ballots will go out on May 1st and will be accepted if postmarked before or on Election Day, May 20th. May elections in odd-number years conducted by our counties select representatives for local districts such as school boards, fire and water districts, transportation and cemetery districts. These are areas that affect our daily lives and are positions filled with mostly unpaid volunteers. Elections matter. Special district elections matters. Remember to vote because your vote counts.